Assalamualaikum. This video is for subject CHM256 and today our group will present about a gravimetric analysis precipitation. Before we start, let me introduce my group member. The first one is me, Erdana Zulaika binti Musukanain. Next, Nur Ain Nur Iswan. And then lastly, Nur Afina Uzma binti Muhammad Faizal.
So, in this topic, we will learn about first, introduction of precipitation, second, theory of gravimetric analysis, third, methodology of gravimetric analysis of chloride salt, fourth, conclusion, and lastly is reference.
First, I will talk about introduction of precipitation. For definition, a precipitation reaction refers to the process of formation of an insoluble salt in the solid form when the two solutions containing soluble salt are combined. Then, the insoluble salt that are fall out of the solution is known as precipitate. Next, characteristic of good precipitate. The precipitate consist of large crystals so they are easily filtered. Next, the precipitate need to be sufficiently insoluble that low solubility to avoid loss when during washing. And lastly, the precipitate need to be stable because it is not easily react with the constituents of the atmosphere. There are two types of precipitation. The first one is crystalline and the second one is colloidal substance. For crystalline, it has a large size less than 10 to 4 cm. It is settled spontaneously and easily to filter and purify. Crystalline is very usable in gravimetric analysis because it presents a relativity a small certain area and is less reliable to contamination. Next, for colloidal substance are a tiny particle and have a diameter between 10 to 7 cm and 10 to 4 cm. And will not settle and are not easily filtered. For your information, crystalline precipitate settle rapidly, but for colloidal, it is remain substance in the solution.
Next, I'm going to talk about the application of gravimetric analysis of chloride salt. So the first one is theory. What is gravimetric analysis? It is a quantitative method used in analytical chemistry to determine the amount of substance present in a sample by measuring its mass. So what is the purpose of this analysis? It is to illustrate typical techniques used in gravimetric analysis by quantitatively determining the amount of chloride in an unknown. So next is the type of gravimetric analysis. There are two types of gravimetric analysis, which is the first one is volatilization gravimetry. Volatilization gravimetry involves separating components of our mixture by heating or chemically decomposing the sample. The second type of gravimetric analysis is the precipitation gravimetry. The precipitation gravimetry uses a precipitation reaction to separate one or more parts of a solution by incorporating it into a solid.
Third, methodology gravimetric analysis of chloride salt. First is apparatus. First, digital balance. Second, 250 ml beaker. 3. Oil surveillance kit. 4. Funnels. 5. Ring clamp and stand. 6. 10 ml measuring cylinder. 7. 100 ml measuring cylinder. 8. Wire gauze. 9. Steering rods. 10. Filter paper. 11. Watch glass. And last, weighing container. For the next chemical, first, an unknown chloride sample. Second, 6M nitric acid. Third, 0.5 molarity silver nitrate for acetone, 5 distilled water, and lastly salt solution. Second is procedure. In the procedure, first sample weight was recorded after weighing about 0.2 to 0.4 gram of the unknown sample on a piece of weighing paper to the nearest 0.001 gram. Second, because beaker 1 was labeled on and the sample was transferred quantitatively to a clean 250 ml beaker without weighing the beaker. Third, 150 ml of distilled water and 1 ml of NM6 molarity HNO3 were added to the beaker. 4. Each solution was stirred until the entire sample had dissolved using different stirring rod for each solution. 5. The stirring rod were left in the beaker and were not placed on the desktop. 6. While stirring one of the solution, about 20 ml of 0.5 molarity NO3 solution was added to it. 7. A watch glass was placed over the beaker. 8. The solution was gently warmed in with the Bunsen burner and kept warm for above 9. The solution was not boiled. 10. An accurately weighing filter paper was obtained and folded for filtration. 11. The precipitate and all the warm solution from the beaker were completely and quantitatively transferred onto the filter into another beaker. The last trace of the precipitate were washed out using a wash bottle. 12. The level of solution in the funnel was always kept below the top of the filter paper. 13. The filter paper was removed from the funnel, ensuring that no precipitate was lost and placed on clean and numbered watch glass. It was then stored in the locker to be weighed the next day. 14. The filter papers plus HCl were weighed and the mass of HCl was calculated. From this data, the percentage of chloride in the original sample was calculated. And lastly, the standard deviation was calculated from the percentage of the chloride sample.
So moving on, we have the example of result for the data of the experiment. In this experiment, we repeated it for about 3 times to make sure the results that is obtained is precise. So for trial 1, the mass of the sample is 0.38 gram and the mass of the filter paper with AgCl is 1.53 gram. The mass of the filter paper is 0.76 gram and the mass of AgCl is 0.77 gram. For the second trial, the mass of the sample is the same 0.38 gram and the mass of the filter paper and AgCl is 1.50 gram. The mass of the filter paper only is 0.76 and the mass of AgCl is 0.74 gram. For trial 3, the mass of the sample is the same, which is 0.38 gram and the mass of the filter paper and AgCl for trial 3 is 1.51 gram and the mass of the filter paper its own is the same for the third trial also, which is 0.76 and the mass of this AgCl for the last trial is 0.75 gram. And lastly, for the conclusion, in this experiment we can learn about how to find the unknown chloride percent in the salt that is used. So by using the gravimetric analysis, we managed to get the amount of the chloride in the unknown. So gravimetric analysis is always useful in life, but also in doing analysis in chemistry, and it is very useful in determining the presence of ions in a relatively high concentration. That's all from us. Thank you.